Here we go. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Oracle Office Hours. So good to see you. I'm so happy you're coming in to be with me today. And I have some beloveds I can see up in the little windows. It's so sweet when you let me know where you're beaming in from. If you can drop it in the chat. And for those who are joining on Facebook and the other platforms, if you want to come into Zoom, it's going to be a much more rich share with backgrounds and things that I can show you that I can't show you through simply Facebook Live. So come on over, and we're going to drop the link for the Zoom in the comments. Great to see you, everyone who's joining. Let's take a moment and see where we're coming from. This is one of my favorite parts of these beautiful gatherings, just to feel how we're lighting up the globe together. I can see Claudette, Dia Therese, Noema, hi honey, Dana, Davina, Carla, good to see you again, so sweet. Randy's here again, look at that beautiful background. Agnes, welcome back. I remember that you're from Malta. Every time you come, I feel so moved by you staying up late and coming from so far. Adora, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Those who are also here, not on camera. There's many joining. I can see Dawn again from London, Fireflies, Catherine, Carrie, Carol, and Zunera, Linen Leaf. So you can feel this global community when you take a look in the chat where people are beaming in from. We've got people from all over. Ah, it delights me. Ah, we have Lynn Lee from Justine, Carol from Boston, Dawn again from London. I remembered that you're coming from all the way across the pond. And welcome for those on Facebook Live. If you want to follow the link, my beloved is going to put that in the comments. I don't know if you can see it yet. You can join us on Zoom where my face won't be as cut off, and we'll be having some really beautiful backgrounds to share about today's wonderful transmission. Dana's coming in from Canada. Noema from San Rafael, California, near me. Carrie from Virginia. So many blessings back to you, sister. And Dia from the Valley of Peace again in Idaho. That's such a wonderful name to live in a place with that name. And yeah, Randy's coming from the Contemplate Quintessence. Contemplate. Yes, I like to have fun with these Oracle office hours. You've noticed that I have these beautiful color frequencies behind me, and I wear an archetypal, we can call it a costume or garb, whatever you want to call it. I go into the frequency of the archetype of the divine feminine that we're going to be amplifying today and learning about. This is a fun way to take the mystery school teachings I've been deeply involved with for the last 13 years and bridge into the collective at this time. This is a time where we're waking up collectively, and the mystery schools are sharing some of the beauty that once was so secretive. It was behind the curtains of the innermost chambers of the temples. And the reason why it's time is because there is this ability for many of us who have a sincere desire to open our hearts to these higher frequencies, these more rarefied frequencies, and to start to tune in to some of these teachings. So today you've noticed probably this beautiful sacred geometry near me and the frequency of pink. And the reason why I'm amplifying this particular frequency that has to do with the divine feminine archetype called the goddess of love is because she is the archetype that is most in resonance with the moon that we've just come through, this beautiful full moon. And, in all transparency, when we started our Oracle office hours, we were in the waning gibbous moon, which is a phase right after the very full, bright light of the full moon. And we're coming back into the waning gibbous moon. That being said, I am going to feature the full moon because it's got a very, very potent energy that we can all feel. We just went through this Virgo full moon. Here she is. And the full moon is a time where the light is the most projected and amplified onto the planet at night. And you can see it sometimes in the daytime. I saw this full moon rising kind of right after sunset. The arc of every moon phase is approximately 2.5 days, like 60 hours or so. And we're coming right out of this full moon. I want to still honor her. It was called the worm moon, which is very fascinating. A lot of times it has to do with our ancient ancestors really noticing what's going on for the planting seasons. As the spring is nearing, this is a time that the worms are coming up after the big rains. They've been really working the soil. The soil is getting aerated and nourished and ready for some explosions of blossoms and shoots in the spring. This is the last full moon before the spring equinox. We are heading towards our equinox when light and darkness are equal. That's a powerful time our ancestors would celebrate. This is a time of new life and growth. And this full moon marks this moment right before equinox. We had our visioning and dreaming time at the dark of the moon, and the full moon is a time to amplify and celebrate and rejoice and put your wholeheartedness into that which you are creating. Dancing under the full moon, celebrating under the full moon was an act that our ancestors would do frequently. And you can feel how sometimes the full moon's energy can be very intense. It can really activate you, especially if you have your moon in the sign that the full moon is in, which this time is Virgo. So I've heard a lot of people saying, wow, that was an intense full moon, as we are starting to kind of pass out of it, just taking a moment to feel how it might have activated things in you emotionally. The moon is an aspect that rules over the waters, and the waters of our being, the emotional body. So how did you feel this last full moon, as it's just coming to that first waning phase now? What were you aware of? And as we amplify in the frequency of the full moon, we're going to honor some of the faces of this archetype. We think of only maybe a couple names of goddesses that are most well known because our culture in the West is really starved of powerful feminine archetypes. We're just lifting the veils on how Earth was rich with divine feminine temples and many, many goddesses who were revered way before this more modern age that Judeo-Christian religions would say, well, there's, Mother Mary, but what other powerful feminine archetypes have been loved by our ancestors? One of the first goddesses of love, the oldest one, is Inanna. And I'm going to put, unfortunately, it's cutting off her head a little bit. She's holding the ring and the rod. She has wings. She's a winged goddess, often shown with lions by her side. Inanna was written about on 3,000-year-old tablets, Sumerian tablets. The myth of Inanna tells the story of our beloved sister planet Venus's disappearance. And the descent of Inanna is when Venus is not seen in the night sky. These ancient people were revering the third brightest light in the sky after the sun and the moon. Venus is that. And Venus is absolutely connected to this archetype. We know her as the Roman goddess of love. And there are many, many stories about Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love. Here is an aspect of, this is probably actually Lena and the swan, but the feeling of the goddess of love, Aphrodite, as she rises from those waters. Welcome to my friends joining on Facebook. If you want to come join us on Zoom, this is a wonderful way to see what I'm actually sharing about in the background instead of just my office. We are talking about the beauty of the archetype of the goddess of love. And most of us have heard of Aphrodite. We've heard of Venus from ancient Rome. There are goddesses cross-culturally throughout time. Ishtar, Inanna. In ancient India, Lakshmi, Lalita, Sundari. We have this face of the goddess in almost every culture that has to do with beauty, abundance, pleasure, love, that is a full spectrum. In English, we're so limited by just this one word. When we feel into love, we might feel mixed feelings about where we're really open to love because of past experiences in romance. But love is so much vaster than just romantic love. In the Greek language, I think I've heard something up to 7 or more names for love, possibly more. I know there is eros, the passionate, sensual, erotic love. There is philo, brotherly love or love for something. There is agape love. The goddess of love rules over all kinds of love. In ancient Hebrew, there is dod, which is that desirous romantic love. Raya, which again is that friendship love. And ahava, which is devotional, sacrificial love, which can be towards the divine or a being. So the goddess of love is inviting us to open our hearts, unshield our hearts. I had another beautiful picture of Aphrodite rising from the waters. I'm not seeing that right now, so we're going to go back to this lovely, luscious pink. And I would like to invite us to feel when we feel into how she lives through us, rather than a concept of an ancient goddess. There's sayings I've heard like the goddess is returning or the divine feminine is rising. And I like to challenge that concept and flip it with, we are returning to her. We are remembering her. I can see Carla nodding because the goddess has been here from time immemorial, from the very beginning dream of the physical world. It was the divine goddess Sophia's light that permeated matter. So when we say the goddess is rising, the goddess is returning, and so many of us are feeling this shift out of this kind of super patriarchal, hyper yang system, we're bringing ourselves back into balance by honoring the divine feminine within us and within each other and within the world. And I'd like you to just feel into, maybe put a hand on your heart, another one on your lower belly, and feel into the ways that you are in devotion in your own life to this energy, the goddess within you, whether you're in a male body or a female body. Where are you taking a moment to feel before you respond, and to feel your heart, and to feel interconnectivity, and to see another through those eyes? Are you allowing some of the softening of the shields of your heart in your life? Really feel where you can bring more of this energy. And I'd just like to hear from you a bit how you feel most connected to the divine feminine and to the goddess of love in your life. And this might be like how you love flowers, how you revere nature, how you take a moment to witness the moonlight on the ocean and feel your connection. Maybe it's the way that you nurture yourself and others. Maybe it's the way that you presence beauty in another being. How does the divine feminine most show up for you? I'm just gonna take a moment in the Zoom and feel if there's anything you would share as your awareness for others, knowing that whatever you share is sacred. It's medicine here in the best sense of the medicine of vibrational resonance. As we return to our hearts, we return to presence, and we return to an ability to respond rather than react when things arise. The goddess of love's invitation and her saying is, I feel, I respond, I beautify. What does it mean to beautify? With your very essence, with your frequency. Agnes says, we are returning to her. Yes. Carrie says, by welcoming in another as who they really are. Beautiful. I'm just going to ring my bell as a way of sending these beautiful frequency pieces out into the collective at this time for the one. We are returning to her, and by seeing others as they truly are, not just our projections of what we want to get from another being. The goddess of love is the true sense of generosity. I am that. Roban, welcome. Beloved, beautiful. I am that divine love, that reciprocity, where there's no giver or receiver in true love. The goddess of love is inviting us into the aloha breath of life together. Our beautiful kahunas and Hawaiian beloveds know that this aloha spirit, that's the goddess of love's mantra in the mystery school work that I'm inviting people into. The aloha feeling is the shared breath of life, that there's no giver, no receiver. We're sharing this reciprocity of spirit. So yes to that. I am that. Amber, I love the ever-changing kaleidoscope of beauty in nature. Just amplifying that with you, beloved. How it nourishes us. If we flip the thought that we have to save the earth or save nature and allow nature to, we don't need to be saved, but to help us integrate and become more present and responsive, feeling the magic and the medicine that nature has for us. Instead of healing the earth, let the earth heal us, allow us to integrate and receive the beauty. Oh, and especially when you live in Hawaii, aloha from Maui to you, beautiful. Dear Therese, I soften my own comments to myself about me as I witness my aging. Thank you, beloved, as you are in the croning phase of life where the inner light is amplifying and this wisdom body, the word crone comes from the corona of light, the halo that you emit in your presence, with that light being contained now, and the goddess of love that lives through us at every phase of our journey, witnessing you in the kindness and the self-love. Blessed be. Agnes, I'm presently experiencing love and amplifying my self-love. That is the key. Witnessing you, amplifying this with you for the one. This is the key. All true adepts, aspirants, initiates on the path of great service know, and masters know and embody fully that self-love is synonymous with the ability to truly love another. It starts in the self. So thank you for putting that in the field, beloved, to our journey of embodying love, to loving the self as the divine child, the innocent one, as the noble, sacred being, loving the body as a temple of wholeness, loving ourselves exactly as we are, nothing to fix, change, improve, or become. Our culture is obsessed with bettering, biggering, so many master coaching programs to change you and transform you. When we actually embrace ourselves in love, love is the great miracle. Love softens all the edges that would make us feel the illusion of separation and not enoughness. So blessed be to those of us who are on a devoted path of self-love as the beginning. Blessed be. So beautiful. Noema, I respect, appreciation, devotion, and honor, heart knowing that she has always lived in me. We are she. We are the body of the goddess. The goddess is Shakti. It is life itself. It is the ever-flowing river that we are all flowing within. So yes, she is in me and we are she. Blessed be. Dear Therese, I tear up as you speak to the offerings of us all. You flesh it out in great feminine beauty. Thank you, beloved. It's such an honor to come into this portal, this right use of our technology to weave our hearts, to see each other, feel each other, and uplift the frequency of the one. As we do this work together, whether it's just feeling the frequency that is inspiring and activating more heart opening, more presence, we then bring that into our families, into our communities. And part of human nature is this reflection in the mirror of one another, that we are not alone here. We are awakening together. So it's such an honor to share with you all, to share this beauty. And for those still coming in, welcome, welcome, welcome. Ah, I look at my beloved's face. I can see in the little windows, I see you, Noema, and just this inner smile and the light that shines through you as you've been journeying with the goddess so deeply. Just feeling you. The goddess of love is like a home base frequency for me out of the many archetypes that I journey with, and whether that's in a year-long mysterium or a 13 moon circle, as I walk in the world and walk in my greater community, I hold this temple as a conscious, this is my intention to embody this frequency and to support men and women and all beings, whether they feel masculine or feminine, no matter what our bodies are like, to embody more love, to live embodied love. And part of that is simply recognizing who we truly are and how magnificent we are. So I'm just feeling to create more and more of a flow of reciprocity. If there is anything today that I can be of service in my witnessing, in my reflection back to you, that is a challenge for you, where you find it most challenging to unshield your heart, where life has been, let's say, initiating you like the sacred rub for the pearl of our soul, the polishing, If there's anything that you feel that you could use some guidance, we're going to be using some beautiful oracle cards, listening to the archetypal wisdom that arises, the guidance that arises from that. And then if there's something that you would share in courage and vulnerability that may offer deep medicine for another being witnessing this call, I highly encourage you today, especially if you haven't shared yet in one of these calls, that you just feel if this call is for you. And if you know that's for you, then I encourage you to be courageous and raise your hand or drop it in the chat if you would like some extra mentoring or reflection today. And just feel if that's you, especially around anywhere that you are feeling this archetype is really having a challenging time fully coming through for you, where you're being invited to soften the shields of your heart, to risk more intimacy, to risk more vibrational resonance by being less guarded, by opening, by softening. And many of us carry stories, and some of those stories seem very convincing, very real, that it's not safe to love. That's a big story that I've found in a lot of initiates I work with, that when they were little, it wasn't safe. Or maybe it's even from ancestral imprints or past life. We don't know where these strong blocks come from, these knots in our energy bodies sometimes, but that feeling that it's not safe to be seen in your vulnerability, to be intimate, to truly love. I'd like to challenge that with there's no greater power than unconditional love. And the more we risk being in that open and authentic heart space, the more permission we give each other in this collective moment where it's so needed on the planet. There is nothing more powerful than unconditional love. So if you know that this archetype is definitely a challenge for you and you would like to go deeper, now is the time that I'm going to bring out our beautiful oracle cards and offer some readings. So, let's feel what's real. I have to keep kind of adjusting my phone. Thank you, Randy. The heart shines through the eyes. When we are fully present, you feel it. You feel it in each other's gaze. Amber says, from a recent reading I received, Oshun, the goddess of fearless love. Dare to love. Begin with loving yourself. Allow yourself to be loved. You feel everything deeply. You are porous, even with the wall around your heart. This is the paradox. What would it be like to raise our frequency, our inner heart coherence so much that there's no need for walls, fortresses, shields, that by simply raising your frequency, you change your very vision of what's happening out there, looking through eyes of love, looking and seeing another, even if they're acting in a way that seems unloving, to return all acts with love. Everything that seems to be non-loving to self or other, to return it with such fierce love. And love is not always all soft and ooey gooey and mushy and pushover at all. Love, Noema knows, love can be a fierce sword of truth at times. We know what's required moment to moment. Love is the full spectrum. True love tells the truth all the way, all the time. So without shields, without walls, without protection, imagine a frequency of love so luminous, so aligned with divine grace, that you become like a beacon of light, calling others into your frequency. Imagine that there's no fear here. It's like a sun in your heart that awakens, like a big solar supernova, that just transmutes all the fear, all the contraction, all the gripping, all the control, all the places that have said previously it's not safe to love. It requires a release of control. All right, let's see who is going to receive a reading today. Come on over if you're here with me on Facebook. Follow the link in the comments to come to the Zoom, and you can choose a card. You can be a part of this frequency here with us and chat with me. So there's some more beautiful shares in the chat here. Carrie, it's a direct message to me. Carrie, is it okay if I read? I hope so. So Carrie, would you like a reading today? I'm feeling okay. All right. She's sharing it's a big turning point in her relationship with her spouse. Her heart's still open to reconciliation. There's still so much it's apparently keeping us apart. Feeling into how I can still hold and express my love without grasping for premature resolution. So Carrie, are you on camera? I'd love to see you as I offer you a reading. And I see some other hands up here. So let me see if I can find you. Welcome, welcome to those still coming in. I don't see you on the camera, but if you want to unmute yourself. Oh, here you are. Welcome, love. Are you okay with me highlighting you so we can see you and you can choose a card? Go ahead and unmute. See if you can do that.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi.
All right, I'm going to unpin myself. Welcome, Carrie.
Thank you.
Oh, good to see you. So, beloved, these are these beautiful alchemical cards that my fairy godmother, Ariel Spilsbury, created. She is the originator, the matriarch of the mystery school, the 13 Moon Mystery School. And I just want to give a deep bow of gratitude for Ariel today. And as we feel into the frequency of the cards, I want to remind everyone that even though we're going to do a reading for Carrie, that if this reading resonates for you, really feel that this is medicine for you too, by the resonance, like a tuning fork. When one tuning fork rings and sings, it brings another into ringing with it when there's resonance, vibrational intimacy. So feel for yourself. Okay, Carrie, are you ready? We're going to choose a card. I'm going to let me see if we can both be on the screen together. Let me see who's on the screen now. Is Carrie on the screen or me? I don't know who you see.
I see you.
You see me and I see you. I'm trying to find out how to do it where we're both showing.
You are on the screen now, Eden.
Okay, let's see if we can get on there together. Add. Here we are. Okay, yay. Okay, is that working for you up there? Give me a thumbs up for the people who can see both of us. Okay, wonderful. Okay, Carrie, we're going to go slowly across the cards and just feel when you feel that card could really be the one
there,
for you. Okay,
there.
is that it? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, this is a powerful card. You got the archetype of, I have to put it in front of me, the priestess. And this card is asking you to find equanimity within the waters of your being, to come to stillness and listen. The priestess is a masterful listener because she is feeling for the resonance, knowing that as she listens, there's an expression. A goddess creates an entire world simply by listening. So for you, as you shared so vulnerably, thank you for your courageous heart, that you're in a moment where it's been tender with your beloved. You're in a crossroads type of situation where it could go any direction. This card is inviting you into the still point in your own emotional body rather than reacting, to come from this place where you can amplify your vision of what you truly desire from stillness. Find inner equanimity and practice the sacred art of listening. Often when we gift another that presence and that listening, the shields of their heart dissolve, their defenses dissolve, their resistance to us suddenly opens up into a leaning towards. So I feel like the priestess is inviting you into this possibility for yourself at this time with how you navigate in your communication. The priestess says, I amplify in stillness, I transmit. So before you speak, find that still point, and then let your transmission, your voice, come from your heart knowing, from the center of that truth, rather than from an old story that's been running unconsciously. This is a time to come back to a deeper equanimity. So I hope this resonated. How did this?
Thank you
did
so
anything?
much.
Oh,
Perfect.
you're so welcome, beloved. And then for anyone else that resonated with Carrie's card, this is for you too. So wonderful to share these archetypes. Wonderful. Okay, I have to kind of keep moving my my other device around. All right, who else is feeling called? We've got some hands up. Okay, let's read for someone who has yet to receive a card. Laurel, welcome. I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. Hi. Yay. Okay, I'm gonna add you here. Welcome. All right. So feel into your heart. You know, these cards are going to offer so much more than a yes or a no. They're going to give us a divine feminine archetypal frequency to commune with, to embody, to feel how it wishes to live through us. And you know the area of your life that's needed to really bring this in, this beauty of the goddess in more. Is there anything that you would share first before we choose the card, or do you want to just feel who shows up for you?
Just feel who shows up.
Okay, here we go. So you let me know. We're going to go slowly over the cards.
Okay.
Fun.
I feel that.
Oh. This is an alchemical goddess card. You see both the peacock and the phoenix. And just like the back of the cards are peacock feathers, the peacock is a very special being, creature, because it's the only animal that can eat poison and transmute it into more beauty. That's why you see peacocks at dumps picking through the garbage. No matter how toxic it is for us, that peacock can find nourishment in whatever it is and transmute it into the beauty of its plumage. And then we have this mystical bird, the phoenix, which we know the story of the phoenix. From its own ashes, it rises again and again, never dying, transmuting by the catalytic flames of its own inner alchemy. It knows that an ending is a beginning. My ending is my beginning. That there's no true death to one who is alive in this ever evolving, ever growing journey. So whatever your inquiry, whatever you are seeking guidance on today, be reassured that you have this power of transmutation. And to transmute as an alchemical power is very, very different than transform. When you think of transforming something, it's like those little cars that become robots that become cars again, like Transformers. Like the thing goes back into what it was. It's not a permanent change. When there's a transmutation, it is forever. It is the caterpillar's destiny to transmute itself fully into this other much more rarefied creature that can fly and will never be a little hungry mungry caterpillar only seeing at that level of ground and tree. When you transmute something, you are changed forever. So what you are bringing to today's call, whatever this is in your heart, is asking for that kind of quantum leap, that kind of shift. And this card is a confirmation that it's possible. And whenever there's deep inner alchemy, we need a few things. So I'm gonna lay it out for everyone who's resonating with this card. You need a container, a crucible for this magic to happen, for this beauty to happen. And that's your very being. Your body is where it's happening, in the inner alchemy. You need a substance that's being transmuted, and that's the small stories, the lower frequencies, the dense energy that's been stuck in our emotional body, in our psyche, that no longer serves. That's the lead. And you need a catalyst. And the catalyst, beloved, is your sincere prayer, your intention, your devotion, and your alignment to the greater forces. The divine and archetypal energies are here to serve and support you in this transmutation. So when you align your prayer, you align your heart with that vision fully, there's no stopping that transmutation. And this is that confirmation.
Thank you so much. I was taking notes.
Oh, beautiful. I'm going to ring the bell for that for all of us who are on this journey that is beyond transformation. We're talking about big changes for the one. Blessed be. Thank you so much, love, for coming on and being a part of this call. Yay. All right. Can do one more today. Alexis said that's medicine for her. Blessed be, sister. So glad to have you here. Yeah, I see waves. Amber's waving. Yes. Come on and let us see your beauty. There she is. Look at that. Look at that cosmos.
Aloha. Thank you so much, Eden.
Oh, you're so welcome. Good to be with you, sister. All right, let's see what these magical alchemical cards, I'm going to mix them up a little bit. This is a fun call in the Goddess of Love. We are raising our frequency, opening to the heart, the cosmic heart. Your background's such the cosmic. All right, let me get them spread a little more. See who is coming for you, love, and feel into, it's wonderful, even if we don't know what's going on, just to feel the resonance and what area of our lives it's applicable to. That's the beauty of archetypes. Archetypes are such large magnetic frequencies that they're here to give us so much guidance and wisdom. So, okay, ready, Amber? Here we go. Starting from this side.
There.
This one?
Yes.
Oh. Yep, you're feeling it already just by the frequency, right? It's this beauty of the violet ray, and it's this upward triangle, I love this card because it's a Goddess of Compassion card. And that being said, it's also got this kind of Goddess of Love energy around it. Just like my background, there's so much beauty coming through this card. We have our Shri Yantra, and we've spoken about that in one of our other Oracle office hours as a powerful meditation tool, a powerful visual tool. The Shri Yantra is going to help us really seed our visions into form. And when we're taking in the frequency of transcendence, we're being asked to recognize what needs to be brought into that higher octave. To be transcended is to lift up into a new frequency, to recognize that those old stories, those old kind of dense frequencies that we've been playing out, the patterns in our relationships that have kept us from the heart of compassion, are inviting this movement, this upward movement, like this triangle, this transcendence to the more rarefied frequencies. So as it's a Goddess of Compassion card, I'm going to ask you to really reflect on where you can bring more compassion first to the self. Always, just like we spoke of self-love being the key, self-loving, self-trusting, self-honoring, and self-compassion. They are all that initial opening to any true love, true compassion, true honoring in our lives. So really feel where you're being asked to bring this compassion and to transcend the old stories that have kept you in a lower frequency. I can see you nodding, really taking it in as medicine. Yeah. Is there anything you would say, or just being with that, integrating that for yourself?
Spot on, Eden. Absolutely spot on. Thank you so very much. Happy
Blessed
tears.
Be.
And
Blessed
that feels
be.
good.
Blessed be.
It was about
Yes.
my soulmate, and that's my soulmate, Crystal.
Oh,
So,
beautiful.
thank you so much.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Wonderful. Oh, my heart's bursting. Whew. It's good. Good stuff. So let's just feel if there's anyone that has yet to receive a reading who's here that would like guidance from the cards. I think, Pat, I think you received one or two calls ago, and Dawn, maybe on the very first call, is that when you got one? Okay, we're going to do one more. And this, I'm really interested. I'm curious, Pat, if I read it for Dawn, if it might actually resonate for you too. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna read this one for Miss Dawn. Good to see you all the way from London. Yay. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling fine, thank you.
Beautiful. All right, beloved, feel into the frequency of the cards. And as we move through, just feel when that's the right card for you.
Now.
This one? Woo.
Yes, please.
Okay. Wow. So this card is a wise woman card. We mentioned the divine light, the limitless light of Sophia, the goddess of wisdom. The wise woman is asking us to see through any black and white splitting where we might get caught in right, wrong, good, bad thinking, and to trust a deeper heart knowing that helps us see beyond that duality, polarity, tension into the light that connects, into the light that coheres, into the limitless light. And this heart knowing is inviting you to simplify, to resonate more. So when you simplify, you're going to slow down and you're going to feel just like a wise being walking with their staff upon the earth that is sending a vibration with every touch of the staff to feel the earth and for the little creatures to move out of the way because the resonance, the vibration. I simplify, I resonate. So you are being invited to walk softly, feel your heart knowing through that simplicity and resonance, and to step out of any extreme polarity splitting, the places that want to box things up in rights, wrongs, goods, bads. Feel the bridge through the heart of connectivity, that gentleness that the heart brings. So this is the card of heart knowing. We see the totem of the wise woman, the crow there. And the crow is also kind of inviting us to not take ourselves too seriously, just like coyote medicine. Just shake it up a bit. Find some levity too while you're at it. So this is medicine for you and your journey, Dawn. I hope it resonated. I hope you can find a way that's guiding you back to the heart and trusting your heart knowing.
Thank you.
Beautiful. You're welcome. What a sweet call. I am really honored once again to be able to come into these calls and to offer for those on Facebook. I know I've been a little bit like cropped out of the screen as I'm more attuned onto the Zoom call. For our next Oracle office hours, come join us on the Zoom. The link is in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this, you can leave a comment as you share how this has touched your heart. I can share that with others that might not know about it yet and say, this is what people are experiencing. This is what they feel from these calls. And we'll keep this going. It's my intention to bridge into the collective and keep offering from my temple, from the mystery school, and this time so that we really raise the frequency together and stay connected. So leave me a little chat. Thank you for blooming. Yay. I love that I don't know if you are familiar with the gene keys. I have a gene key, which highest frequency is called fluorescence. It's the blooming, the ever flowering, blooming open of the heart. And I resonate with that very much. For those who are appreciating and liking it, if there's something, Randy, Nanu. Oh, thank you so much. Touches my heart to feel your love in the chat right now. What a delight to be here. Oh, yes. Thanks for asking, Alexis. So something exciting for those that are resonating with this recognition of the goddess as she lives through us, with opening our hearts more, with being embodiments of divine love here at this time, really amplifying unconditional love. I have a very potent offering coming this summer. June 25th through July 2nd, I'm going to be taking a small devoted group to the south of France, to the lands that Mary Magdalene was said to have lived in for the remainder of her life after the crucifixion and resurrection of Christ. And this retreat is a pilgrimage to the holy lands of Mary Magdalene, to her cathedrals, her temples, to the cave she said to have done very mystical work within, to the sacred waters and springs that she baptized people in. We're going to be learning a lot more about her legacy of love, her ministry, and some of the practices and the truth about who she was, as well as diving deep into the Divine Feminine Mystery School work that I offer there as will be in 3 temple days on that land. So this is a very powerful opportunity to be in the work, fully immersed in the work with me for a week this summer. And Zunera has popped the link for that. Well, actually, that link has many offerings that you'll find when you open it. Let me see, if I click on that, does it share my screen? I don't know if I have a shared screen. Are you seeing me still, or do you see the screen? No, you can't see. So go ahead and click on that link. And as you scroll down, you'll see Visionary Retreats, and it's the Feminine Renaissance Retreat. It has a little bit of info there, but really what you want to do is click on the link below that says click here to learn more, and it takes you to the beautiful page. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the link for that page now into the chat. So if you're here with me on Zoom and that was tricky to find it, you can just find it straight from there. Oh, thanks. Zanera beat me to it. So check that out, beloveds. And this is for those who are on a path of heart, who are devoted to leading with love, who are here in their offerings that would like to go much deeper, to receive the activation, the support, and the renewal and the nourishment that this retreat is going to provide. Not only is it going to be extremely catalytic and give you so much strength for your work as you continue your sacred service, it's going to offer a nourishing renewal aspect as we're going to be using the sacred waters of this land really consciously to release what no longer serves, to activate and awaken our hearts, to renew our spirits for the work ahead that is the good work, the beautiful work of walking in beauty as a leader in love. So thank you so much, everybody, for checking it out. And I'll be back next week. We'll be tracking the moon. We'll be inviting another goddess frequency, another archetype of the goddess into our lives fully. I give you this mudra as a closing, bringing our hands of light to our hearts, one over the other. Deep breath in. True love begins with the self, honoring this love within our own hearts. Breathing in, and then as we exhale, offering that love to each other, to the one, and then bringing it back, that reciprocity, no giver, no receiver. Only love is real. And we bring in the aloha. 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 Last time, really feel it for yourself. Aloha. Only love. Bye, everybody. Bye for now. Mwah. Love you so much.